Hello, I'm Stefan Sewell, and I'm here to talk about the Golden Rule. There's my name. And I've been putting together a magic show that I'm going to perform in schools all about the Golden Rule. It's an effort to transform bullying, to basically abolish it, banish it, get rid of it. And I'm going to share my screen with you. We've got over 1,000 formulations of the Golden Rule that we've found in philosophy, religion, and ethics. Here's Native American, humanism, Baha'i, Judaism, Taoist, Buddhism, Christian, of course, Egyptian. And here's one from Thrive movement. No one gets to violate anyone else, his or her person, property, or privacy, except in true self-defense. That formulation of the Golden Rule is quite significant. I think it's might be ancient, but it's a new way of formulating it for this project, the Golden Rule Magic Show that we're working on. It's a new one that we've discovered. We found it at Thrive Movement. I'm going to show you how I work with the Enneagram to come up with methods of, I'm looking for the screen to share here. Here is the website from where the Enneagram comes. It's posted here, in other words. And you can see here the triangle comes in and unifies the 3 points 0, 3, and 6, or 0, 9 is the top. Because when you get to 8, you move back to 0 and it becomes 9. And that's the force from the bully. Now we want to transform that into nonviolence. So we're looking at point 3 here, self-confidence, and point 6, help available. This help could be in the form of someone's will to act differently, and it could be in the form of a method that would be applied by the potential victim here at point 3. So this method of working with transformation and process is something I'm very familiar with. I wrote a book called Accomplish the Impossible, and it's all about how to use the 9-term symbol, how to use the Enneagram. You can see here that I've recently done a blog about the assertiveness training using this symbol, the Enneagram, and the non-violation principle that Thrive Project brings up is quite significant, I think. I would like to share with you the Thrive website very briefly, just so you see what it looks like and where it comes from. Let's see if I can find that here. The Thrive website is here, and this is the page that shows the non-violation principle right under the Liberty section here. Goes down even further. You can see here, this is the central rule that they found after searching for many, many years. No one gets to violate anyone else, his or her person, property, or privacy, except in true self-defense. This non-violation principle is very significant. It's a very efficient way to formulate the Golden Rule. I've read many professors on this subject to prepare for this show, and I've found some of them on YouTube. Let me just show you really briefly some clips. Here's a professor that talks about neuroscience.
And in this talk, I'm going to be explaining behaviors that obey the Golden Rule, not the Golden Rule itself. And in doing so, I'll be making some points extremely briefly, which I wrote out in this book, this little book a few years ago, The Neuroscience of Fair Play. Here's the problem.
So he's talking about how the Golden Rule has a neuroscience basis, a biological basis in us. It's not proven, but it's highly likely. Let me share with you another video by another professor who talks about the ethics of it.
Gold or garbage? Well, I'm arguing that if you understand it
into a simpler way. It's garbage. But if you have a more sophisticated understanding, it is really gold. It's a principle common to practically every religion and culture of the world, and it's useful in moral thinking, as I tried to show.
So he's showing that it's useful in how we think and how we work in the world, and he's written his dissertation on the Golden Rule. So it's very interesting to see the depth of thought out there on this subject, and I think the Thrive movement formulation is quite useful. So I think that's basically it. I'm working on this show. It's called Attention, Magic, and the Golden Rule. Thanks for joining me, and we look forward to meeting up here again.